Okay, Unit 3, Lecture 2c. We're almost through the Constitutional Convention, or at least the big overview of it. We left off with the separation of powers, which is the idea of the French philosophe Montesquieu, which Madison then incorporates into his Virginia plan. Okay, and this limits the powers of each branch and provides each branch with a system of checks and balances over the others, so we can stop any one branch from gaining too much power. And finally, the founders also did limit the federal government to those powers specifically given to it, though this is very, very vague, and we'll talk about this when we get to the necessary and proper clause and also implied powers, which we'll be talking about a little later on in this unit. Now, before the Constitution can take effect, it has to be approved or ratified, okay? And for it to be approved or ratified, it needs 9 of 13 states to approve it, all right? And two groups are going to emerge at this time, the Federalists and the Anti-Federalists, and they'll be the forerunners of the first two political parties. All right. The Federalists support a strong national government and want the Constitution. They want ratification of it. They believe that a strong national government can promote economic development and public improvements. An example would be using tax money to build roads or canals. An expansion in the nation's transportation system could lead to an expansion in the nation's economy. The leading Federalists, George Washington and James Madison, are the two in Virginia, Alexander Hamilton in New York. Madison, Hamilton, and John Jay, who's our first Supreme Court Chief Justice, published the Federalist Papers to argue for ratification. And the Federalists, we want to know, are very well funded, and they're very well organized, and Madison and Hamilton are just brilliant people. So they have the advantage over the Anti-Federalists, who are less organized, less funded, and really don't have an alternative to offer, okay? So the Anti-Federalists then are concerned, and they fear the power of or feel a too powerful central government. They're worried then about tyranny and that the government would infringe upon the rights of individuals in the states. Patrick Henry and George Mason are the two leading Anti-Federalists from Virginia, and they are going to insist before ratification that a Bill of Rights is included to protect our rights. So we're going to end up with a compromise, and the Federalists will promise that as soon as the Constitution is ratified, they'll include a Bill of Rights. Okay, so the new Constitution then is ratified and it takes effect in 1789. So our first form of national government, the Articles of Confederation, ruled from 1781 to 1789, and in 1789 we have the new Constitution. All right, and immediately, first order of business, we have to have a Bill of Rights. So Madison is selected to put together the Bill of Rights. He's going to take responsibility for writing it. He's going to look to two other documents to help him or for influence, inspiration. One would be the Virginia Declaration of Rights, written by a fellow Virginian, George Mason, and the Virginia Statute of Religious Freedom, written by Thomas Jefferson. I don't know why those are cut off over there, but I'll see if I can fix them. All right, so Thomas Jefferson writes Virginia Statute of Religious Freedom, which says that the government should not have an established church. No government money goes to any one church or any religion. Declaration of Rights, of course, protects individual rights. So the states then, we ratify the Constitution and we get a Bill of Rights, including immediately. All right, I want you to remember Mason and Jefferson and what they wrote. Those are SOLs. They'll come up. The Bill of Rights is the first 10 amendments or changes to the Constitution, and we'll really talk about them a lot. We'll do a good deal of projects on them in class. All right, I want you to remember, an amendment is a change to the Constitution. And the First Amendment specifically is very much influenced by Mason and Jefferson, the freedom of speech, religion, press, assembly, and petition. All right, and that should cover it. Extra credit. I was thinking I should have included in one of them. Two important founders are not at the Constitutional Convention, not part of the arguments, John Adams and Thomas Jefferson. Where were they? What were they doing? Why'd they miss it? I need a paragraph for both of them. Well, one paragraph to respond for both of them. Okay? See you later.